Last night you watched a movie and you think you can do better. Well, what do you need? You're going to need a camera, first off. What does a camera cost? Well, I think basically you're going to spend somewhere between $300 to $5,000 and up to get a camera that is good for filmmaking. So where do you find a camera? Well, you can try the big box stores. They have a kind of limited selection, but you can do okay there. You can go mail order through the internet, but be very careful how you buy. Check out that seller before you go and buy that. There are many ways you can get ripped off. You can get a gray market camera, which was intended for another country. It has no warranty. They can try to add all kinds of accessories at a high rate, like charge you twice what it would cost to get a battery. There's a great site out there called Reseller Rating, which you can look at online sellers and it'll get a true rating of those. So what do you need in a camera? Well, I mean, you need a good working camera, number one. But some of the features that I think are a must, you need an external mic jack because the microphones on cameras are pretty good if you're going to pick up audio from less than 3 feet. But if you need good audio and you got several actors on the scene, you're going to have to hook in an external mic like a shotgun mic. So you must have an external mic jack. And that could be a mini plug or a full XLR, but usually cameras that have XLRs on them are more expensive. The next thing you're going to need is manual exposure. This way you can control the image. If you don't have that, and let's say you have somebody standing in front of a window talking, you're going to end up with a silhouette. They're going to be this black shape and nobody's going to know who they are. So you need manual exposure. The next thing you should have is manual white balance. Now this is not essential for beginning filmmakers, but if you really want to control your image, you need to be able to control the white balance. The next factor you have to deal with is sensor size. Currently, DSLRs, digital single lens reflex cameras that shoot video, are very hot because they have the large sensor and they give you a very filmic feel. The problem is the ergonomics of them don't make them good video cameras. It's hard to change exposure on the fly or run audio levels while recording audio. Where a standard video camera may have smaller sensors and give you more depth of field, but you can control the aperture, you can control the audio levels a lot easier when using them. So for a run and gun type filmmaking, you might be better to get a standard video camera. Although now some video cameras are coming out with the larger sensors, so you get the best of both worlds. You have the large sensor and you can still control many of the aspects of the image and the audio. Well, all right, now you've got your camera, you're going to need some accessories. And probably the first one you're going to really need is a case for your camera. You can't show up to set bringing the camera in a paper bag or a little cardboard box. A decent case can start at $20 and go up to a couple $100. Now, we found this cool little tool case you can get at a hardware store that's great for smaller cameras and it can fit accessories. It has padding in it. It costs around $25. The next thing you're going to need is a tripod. A lot of beginning filmmakers, they don't use a tripod and it gives a very amateur look to their films. Get a tripod and get the camera steady so you can get good shots. Tripods cost as little as $40 and up to hundreds, if not thousands of dollars. Don't go to the big box store and buy the $40 tripod. I've seen those, they break very easily, they're not very workable. I believe you can, between $100 and $150, you can get a workable tripod for a beginning filmmaker. The final thing is also you're going to need batteries, spare batteries. All cameras usually come with one very small battery, which will run your camera for half an hour to 40 minutes, and then you're done. So go get on eBay or wherever and look and get a spare batteries. I recommend 2, and get the larger batteries that can run your camera for 2 to 3 hours. One other option instead of buying a camera is renting a camera, because maybe you can afford a certain level of camera, but you're buying a mediocre camera, where if you rent, you can get a very high-end camera with great images and great features. One thing I tell filmmakers is instead of buying a camera, buy the things that go with it, like lenses or light kits or microphones, because those are format agnostic. It doesn't matter what camera you're shooting with, you can use them with that. So you can constantly use the most current camera by renting, but all these other things will work for you for the next 10 years. Finally, Take your time when buying a camera. Do your research. What kind of camera do you need for your type of filmmaking? Research the cameras, research the people you're buying from, and pick the camera that fits your needs.